In this video, I'm going to show you my strat with the Corrosive team against the Gunsmoke boss, Deichgraf, Festung. I have a V6 Klukai, V6 Beretya, V0 Mekti, V3 Yuhi, and a V4 Lin, because no one has a V6 Lin up for support other than me, and I can't use my own as a support, and I use mine in a different team. Let me just put my units where I like them. Okay, as you can see, Mekti has her expansion key, so she'll be sleeping the whole fight. Go ahead and move Yuhi here. We're going to ultimate. Use her step 1, doesn't matter who. It's an AoE since she used her ultimate. I'm going to use her skill 1 on the ad right here. Then we're going to use her step 2, doesn't matter who. Again, it's an AoE because of her ultimate. I'm just going to end Mekti's turn. And then Beretya is going to go up 1 tile and use her ultimate. And we're going to have Klukai come over here behind this fence. And we're going to have her ultimate all the way to the right. This will hit both these two ads and the boss. We're going to have Klukai move over 2 tiles to the right, and then ultimate all the way to the left. That way she can hit this ad, so we didn't get it the first pass, and then this ad and this boss, so we can spread out all the corrosive DOT debuffs on all the enemies. Put her behind the fence. End her turn. And I put her behind this fence here because I want her to be the furthest target from the boss, and I'm going to move Lind up front here. But let me show you this boss's attack. He uses Punishment Protocol. When this unit stability is greater than 0, selects the closest furthest enemy targets, dealing physical damage equal to 100% of attack to them, and applies Mark of Punishment for 2 rounds. What Mark of Punishment does is it gives you the effect of increased damage taken by 5%, but it also increases your attack by 5%. So it's a buff and a debuff. I'm not worried about damage, so I'll take the extra attack power, and I'm going to want it on my 2 strongest damage dealers in this team, which is going to be Lind and Klukai. So with Lind, I'm going to put her as the closest target. I'm going to use her ability from her fixed key, Radial Invitation. I'm going to put it on Mekti since she's sleeping this whole fight anyways. Then which gives ignore armor by 15% on all enemy targets. And then we're just going to use her ultimate. And then we're going to use her skill 1 on the one on the bottom. Actually, we'll do it on the right, because if you don't have a V3 or higher, you're not going to be able to have this wide of a cone on her skill 1. Obviously, if you have a V6, you just use her ultimate in her skill 2, but this is a V4. So if you don't have a V3 or higher, or V3 to V5, then you have to aim for this one. So let's go ahead and aim for that one. So it's the boss and the ad. So So we'll take Yuhi and just move her over one tile. Use her skill 1 on this add. And then we're going to use her step 2 to cleanse a debuff on Lyn. And as you can see, these two debuffs, if you cleanse this one, it gives you calibration analysis, which is just increased critical damage. And this one, Final Shackle, if you cleanse it, you get Crack Shackle, which gives you a buff to ignore the target's defense, 1% per stack. So I'll go ahead and use step 2 on Lyn. Then I'm just going to end Mekti's turn. Then I'm going to have Furaya use her ultimate. And then I'm going to have Kukai, ultimate all the way to the right. And I'm going to move Kukai 2 tiles to the right and then ultimate back. And have her go over the fence, end her turn. Then I'm going to have Lyn use her skill 2, which will hit everything on the field from here. So we'll start with Yuhi. We're going to have her use her skill 1 on this add. And then we're going to have her use step 1 since she used step 2 last turn as part of the 3 steps for best dancer. And I'll put step 1 on Lyn to heal her, and then because best dancer activates and I use step 2, should cleanse everyone's debuffs, which means more buffs for everyone that has debuffs. And then we're going to end Mekti's turn. And then Furaya is going to pick up this chest for increased damage by 20%. We're going to have her ultimate. And I have her pick it up and go before Kukai. That way all her support attacks have that 20% increase in damage. So then Kukai now is going to grab this chest for the increased damage by 20%. We're going to ultimate all the way to the right. And we're going to have her ultimate all the way to the... Oh, wait, no. We're going to have her move her 2 tiles to the left and then ultimate all the way. Have her go down behind the fence, end her turn. Lyn's going to use her ultimate. It's going to hit everything. Since I want to try to keep the HP levels about the same, I'm going to actually have her aim for the one down below. Again, if you don't have a V3 to V5, you'll have to aim the one on the right. So, but I have a V4, so we're going to go for this one. Trying to keep the HP levels about the same going down so I could try to take them all out about the same time. so I have more time for taking out the boss. Since the boss has an 80% reduced damage taken as long as there's at least one ad on the field. So Yuhi's gonna ultimate. And we're gonna start with step 2 to cleanse everyone's debuffs so we can get more buffs. Then we're going to skill 1 on his ad. And then we're going to use step 1 for anyone who needs heals. You're just going to end Mekti's turn. And since Paretya still has the effect, the attack, the damage boost from that chest, I'm going to have Klukai go before her so all her support attacks do have that benefit. So we're going to ultimate all the way to the right. Okay, and that'll probably happen if you can't hit the one on the bottom, like it just did me, because normally I would hit the one on the bottom both times. And since this one's gone, since there's no need to move to the right 2 tiles because that ad is gone, so instead of doing that, we're just going to go ahead and just ultimate all the way back behind the fence, and that'll hit all of them again. End her turn. Now I would normally have Paretya go next, but since she can only hit the boss where she's at and the boss has that reduced damage taken, we're just going to have Lynn go, use her skill 2, and this will take out this ad. And then we'll have Paretya use her ultimate. And the boss no longer has that buff where he's taking 80% less damage. Okay, so we're going to start with Yuhi. She's going to use her step 1, skill 1 on the boss. And then we're going to use step 2 on Lynn, because she's got a debuff that can be cleansed for an extra buff. I'm just going to end Mekti's turn. Now, the only target on the field is going to be the boss. Okay, so Paretya is going to come pick up this chest. Actually, no. We're going to have Klukai ultimate all the way to the right. The reason why is because Paretya doesn't have the Confectus Index right now to do her ultimate, since I had her go after Klukai the last turn. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ultimate up. I'm saving this chest for Lynn. This one's going to be for Paretya because she doesn't have much movement speed. And then I'm just going to have her come up here and have her stand behind one of these chests. For the next turn. End her turn. And now I'm going to have Paretya come and grab this chest. An ultimate. And then Lynn's going to come down and grab this chest. And since the boss now has less than or is no longer greater than 0, he uses this attack, which is an AoE, 100% attack to all enemy targets within 5 tiles for each enemy hit, gain 1 stack escalating punishment. Defense is reduced by 1%, attacks increased by 1. So you could try to get everyone close to the boss. I'm not that worried about it, but what I'm pointing that out was because I no longer have to have the closest and furthest target because he's no longer using that attack. So I'm just going to go ahead and get her close though, use her ultimate. Then I'm going to use her skill 1 on the boss. Okay, so we're going to start with Yuhi. We're going to have her use her step 1 on the boss. And then we're going to have her use step 1 on Lynn, because I know I used step 2 last turn, so this will heal everyone and cleanse that needs it, and cleanse any debuffs anyone has, because the best dancer activating. Ekti's just going to end her turn. Now, Paretya still has the effect from the crate from last turn, so we're going to have Klukai go first. So I'm going to go ahead and have her grab this crate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have her ultimate here. It actually doesn't matter as long as you go down and come right back up. Or we could go down then right, and then right then up. Yes, we're going to go down and then right, or down and then left. Because she just picked up that chest, so she's good for this turn and the next turn. And then we're going to have her ultimate all the way over here in front of Yuhi. That way she should be in range of that one attack that the boss applies, that status that lowers defense, increases attack power. So we're going to end her turn here. And also Paretya had all her support attacks buffed. So we're going to use her ultimate now. And then we're going to have Lynn back up here in front of the boss and use her skill 2. Okay, so we're going to start with Yuki. She's going to use her ultimate. And then we're going to have her use her step 2 on Lynn. And then we're going to use skill 1 on the boss. And step 1 on Lynn. Then we're going to have Mekti just end her turn. And then we're going to have Klukai, who's going to ultimate. Well, this is turn 7. And so we'll have her ultimate to the right. And I do believe that's it. Now, normally it'd be ultimate to the left, and then Lynn would use her ultimate. Or is it her? Yes, then her ultimate and then her skill 1. Unless she's, of course, a V6. Because if she's a V6, then it would be just ultimate skill 2 every turn. Well, thanks for watching.